Hi everybody, this is Priska and Christina with this week's Truth Bombs and Bloopers. And we're going to talk about the subject of life purpose and motherhood. Or life purpose versus motherhood, or life purpose
and motherhood,
or
slash
motherhood. And when we talked about this week's energies, we always check in on our own energy forecasts. I felt a strong energy around life purpose, that for a lot of people right now, the questions around life purpose come up onto the surface, and we have to redefine and reevaluate what is really important for us. And so we would love to talk about this today. And before we dive in, Priska, what was your truth bomb this week?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a truth bomb about hair tutorials and how shitty my hair looks today, and if I couldn't find my real hairdo today, or about motherhood, or about, I don't know, there was so much stuff coming up with me this week, and that's why also we were going to talk about motherhood, because I think it's very much interconnected with the, like, for us women especially, in the whole purpose life missions question. But a truth bomb of this week, let me see. I have gone down the rabbit hole of all the conspiracy theories, and I think the truth bomb of my week is: don't believe everything that you see and hear. Like, just stay connected to your own intuition, to your own truth, and just don't believe everything that people think is the truth. And just because everybody thinks it's the truth, it doesn't have to be the truth. Like, it really is, like, it just hit me so hard. It's something new, actually, and I have been thinking about that many times before. But you know, we are taught, okay, this blue thing is the sky. This thing is called a bird. You know, like, this is what a woman has to look like. You know, this is what a beautiful woman has to look like. And we're all brainwashed in a certain way about certain things. And when we see things in the news and in the media, we just think that's true. And especially when there are pictures, we think it's true because we don't even question the truth of what's being shown to us. And when I'm saying this, it's not that I mean that everything that conspiracy theorists are saying is true. I'm just saying, because this too can be faked, right? It's just like, we are so conditioned to believe everything that is being brought to us via media, also films, via radio, via music, via stars. And this all kind of infiltrates us in some way. And I think it's so important that we start to look behind this smoke screen and see that there's so much more happening than we think there is, or something different.
How do you protect yourself against the outside influence?
I don't even think that I have to protect myself. It's like, the antidote for me is just being aware that things can be different. And of course, it's also having good boundaries up, you know, like just shutting things down when I feel I'm overwhelmed, or, you know, and going out into nature, like really reconnecting with my own truth, with my own feelings, what I'm actually feeling in my body. And just keeping an open mind, you know, just knowing that just because X, Y, and Z is saying that this is how it is, doesn't mean that it's like how it is. There are always people with other interests behind that. And to just see, okay, what does feel true to me? And I think that's how I protect myself. It's really just staying open-minded and asking questions, even if I don't get the answers, because in the end, nobody really knows.
That's true. And anyway, you will always find what you're looking for. So if you are looking for proof for what you already are holding inside, you will find it somewhere.
Absolutely. And it's all about deciding what you want to believe. In the end, we all have to decide what we want to believe. And I'd rather believe in something that lifts me up than something that pulls me down. And in the end, again, I'm aware that this is also just, it's a choice. It's a choice, because we can believe this or we can believe this, and still, while making this choice, we still can be open-minded and be open for other opinions and other things. And after all, having said this all, I think in the end, it's so important that we just stick together as humanity, as people, because no matter what you believe or what I believe, in the end we're in this together, and all we actually have is each other, and being loyal to each other. And I think that's what's needed right now, you know, like, not that we call the police because we see other people walking outside and, you know, like, I don't know, or just bashing each other for having a different belief. It's about sticking together and saying, okay, you believe something different, I do what is right for me, you do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And yours?
My truth bomb, I think, so two things come up. What if you could do what you want without having to do what you think you need to do? So
powerful one.
letting the I have to, if I choose XYZ, I have to. What if there's another way? Maybe there's a shortcut. Maybe there's someone you meet on the way who helps you to get there. Yeah, like that's just I think in relation to this subject, redefining your life purpose, I think we often come up with fear, with conditioning from past experiences. So let's say I chose a path, and I made a really uncomfortable experience. Now this experience is always connected with choosing this path. But what if we can rewire that in our subconscious and then find another way to get there? That's kind of and how much we are, the other truth bomb of this week, how much we are manifesting through our subconscious. And I mean, we can live positive, and we can have positive thoughts and change our thoughts every day, but if we still in the deepest core still believe that we are not enough, or we are bad at this, or we will never get there, then we will always attract those people and those situations who show us that we are not enough, that we don't attract XYZ, that we don't belong or have no value. So that's kind of the two truth bombs. And but in general, I feel like the overall energy is much lighter than it was last week. I felt it very dense, and now it feels already a bit lighter.
Yeah, I also have the feeling people get more used to the new reality that's currently here, or, you know, more easing into it. It's more okay. We have Corona, and it's okay, and we just make the best of what we have. Yeah, I feel that too. Yes.
And in terms of motherhood, why did this come up for you this week?
It always is something that it's very much in my space. I'm a stepmother of two, of a 14-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy, and I'm not a biological mom. And funnily enough, like the whole thing that activated, it's a topic that keeps coming, because I have actually the wish of having a child. But it's also not like super, you know, like I need to have one. It's like not this. I'm not one of these women who have the feeling they need a child in order to be happy, or to have their life purpose, to make the connection fulfilled. I've never had that. It was just when I was actually with my ex-boyfriend, all of a sudden I felt this girl like with me. And I could see her, I got to know her, I dreamt about her, she was so real. And I really was so sure that she would be my child. There was no question, like, okay, this is the girl that's coming, but she never came. Because my ex-partner didn't want to have kids with me, as we were just like, Eva was the wrong person. He wanted later with another woman, he did want to have kids, but it's another story. Like, and my current partner that I'm with, or just my man, because I want to marry and stick with this guy, I know that. But he had cancer in 2010. He had 18 chemos and a stem cell transplantation. So he's like he's infertile now. And I cannot, like, doctors say there's no way that we're going to have kids. And of course, this is a reality I have to live with. Of course, like, I'm also aware miracles can happen always, but also I have to be realistic with myself, because otherwise I will be every month when I get my period just devastated, because it didn't happen, And of course, we had this whole discussion about, whether we want to have like sperm donor or I don't know, like adopt or whatever. But I never felt a clear yes for that. Also, because I know my husband to be is 11 years older than I am. I mean, again, my stepkids are teenagers. Like, it would be like such a step back again and starting all over. Also, I would then, like, my brain starts to work. It's like, I also want to have time with him, because right now we got together when they were kids already. We didn't have that phase that normally people have, where you get to meet each other and travel together and, like having this couple time only, because bi-weekly there are these kids. And I love these kids like so much. I cannot even start telling how much I love these kids. And it's like, I'm so one of these very lucky stepmoms where it's like mutual, that they also love me. Still, it's not the same, I think, as it is having this biological child. So it's a reoccurring thing in my life. It comes in waves. It's something I talk openly about. Also, I had a whole videos published when we were actually having the discussion about,
Oh yeah, maybe we can link these videos.
Yes,
that would be maybe helpful for other people.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was very emotional, and I know Christina was part of that, because she always felt me. I don't know how you always do that, because you're always like, "Are you okay?" It's mostly when I had a child crisis.
No, but it was so interesting, because like I think I was in Bali maybe a year ago. Was it there the first? I don't know, but I dreamt about your girl, and in my dream her name was Emma, and then the next day you wrote me and you said, "Oh, can we talk? I have this child thing coming up again, and I need to talk." And I said, "Wow, I think I really felt it, because I dreamt about your girl Emma." And then today, when you talked about motherhood, I saw her again next to you, and I can describe how she looks like, and she's so real to me. So somewhere in some form, she's really here. I can really feel and see,
and
even see her.
It's crazy, and it's also crazy that you call her Emma, because Emma was the name I wanted to give to my girl. I knew it was Emma, and the funny thing, like the really funny thing, is that my stepkids are my Eddies, and I'm her, and they're Emma. Extra mom. It's like Emma. So it's so funny that I became Emma now. Like, so yeah, but it's amazing that you can see. I cannot see her anymore. She left. I don't even remember when she left energetically, in a way that I could not connect with her in a way I did anymore. But yeah, I still get, like it's a journey. Sometimes I get very, very sad, because I literally miss her. I really miss her energy in my life, and I was so looking forward to meeting her. I even have bought her a little dresslet once when I was on an.
Oh, really?
Yes, I still have it somewhere, because I knew, okay, this is the dress that my daughter is going to wear, and it's so, for me, almost like I sometimes cannot wrap my head around it that she didn't come, because it was so clear, especially as I never really wanted kids. I really, up till I think, how old was I? 2011 was that. How old was I in 2011? 28, I think. Yes. Or not. I don't know. 28, yes. Then all of a sudden, like it changed all of a sudden, and I had this big, like, okay, this is my girl, and I need to give birth to her. It was so strange. So I thought, okay, this is how, like, the universe is telling me that I'm going to be a mom. And so funny that didn't happen. But yeah, like, I don't know what the reason is, if there's a bigger purpose, if she was needed somewhere else, or if I was needed somewhere else. You don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's still open. It's still in the air. You never know.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And because you are one of my heroes, sheroes, I mean, who is managing, you're sometimes I cannot wrap my head around how you manage this all, because I'm being a stepmom, right? Only bi-weekly, because they're a week with us and a week with their mom. And I'm having a business and a relationship and everything. But you, I mean, like, you have, like, you're a dancer, you're a painter, you're a yoga teacher, you're a coach, you're like a choreographer, you're everything and much more. And then you're a mom.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone who knows life design, I'm a manifesting generator, and this explains a lot. And we can link, maybe we can add a link about life design, because it helped me a lot to figure out why I work best with different projects, because that's something I'm still doubting about myself, or I was still doubting about myself until I found life design. I was thought, why can I not focus on just one role, and that was my whole life like that. But why can I not just be a choreographer, just that, or just mother, or just, and then when I found life design, it explained that I function the best with 80 different projects where I could put my energy.
Nutritionist, I forgot. You also did tons about food.
Yeah, where I can put all my ideas in, and and for me, motherhood was so much part of my purpose. Like when I talked about that for the first time, but I remember when I was around 14 years old, I already knew I will have children.
Wow.
And I think when I got together with my husband, with Chris, I would have been ready immediately. I think we were 24 years old when we got together. But then he still had to finish his studies, and he wasn't ready. But then when we were both ready, I got pregnant really quickly with my first child, I think the 3rd month.
Wow.
Of trying.
Wow.
And I thought, like, I was so naive. I thought, okay, once I start this project, I will get pregnant immediately. And I only had to wait twice, 2 months.
And you already thought, like, oh my God, it's taking so long.
I was so depressed when I got my period, like, both times. And then the 3rd month, I was already pregnant. And with my second girl, it was like, boom.
Immediately.
First time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super fertile.
Super fertile. And I think it was really, I always felt like this nurturing, and being a mother, this felt so natural, and so, and I remember once I became a mother, I felt like, now I feel so much more authentic. Like, this piece was kind of missing, and that's why I can so understand, and I can understand so much how people are suffering when this doesn't work out for them. Like you said, when you think it's you feel the child so strongly, and a lot of questions why this shouldn't be.
Yes, I think I'm also not the average woman in this sense, because it's not like this dream that I think I'm so sure I want that. Because I always had these doubts of I'm very, I'm a very I'm a giving person, and I know when I'm a generator from human design, and when I say yes to something, it's slurping me up. I'm like, I just have to see it through. And I don't know how healthy it would have been for me to have a child, and how much I could still live my purpose, because I think I don't know, maybe I could have done it. It's all theoretically now, of course. But I don't know, maybe there's a very clear and good reason for that child not to come for me. And I'm also at peace with that most of the time. It doesn't mean that I cannot be sad about it. It doesn't mean that I cannot miss her.
Yeah.
But I also love my life the way it is, that I can be a full throttle stepmom in the weeks that they are here.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it's still different because you're the stepmom. You don't raise the kids, you just help their mom and dad raising them and support them, but still you're there and you're like influencing them. And I had to learn that because I was constantly putting myself second row, and I thought I'm not allowed and I have to step back. And we had so many conversations about that because it was really hard for me to find the place, and I'm still finding that, like where exactly is my spot in that family without trying to be a mom and still being there and present, to find this a very thin line. And there are so many people telling so many things and you read so many things, and I really had to learn that I had to let go of all of this, because just because it worked for X and Y and Z, it doesn't have to work for our system. And I also felt that when I tried to adapt some things that was not really coming from myself, that the kids were also responding like, what is she doing now? I really felt like I just have to go with the flow. But anyhow, I was like, just see, okay, maybe I can just be the best stepmom I can be. And
yeah, and I was just, while you were talking, I got this image that, when you have mother and father, it's like this line of parents and then the children.
mm-hmm.
And while you were talking, I saw a triangle. So these children just have a triangle as a support team, and not this
That's
line.
beautiful.
And each corner is equally important. It's not that, of course, the mother has her values that only a biological mother can give, and the father. But then, I mean, that's why I like the word bonus mother, because you can give so much value, extra value, bonus value to the children. So never doubt that.
Yeah, I think that's my journey, and I think this is why I got Eddie's and why I'm Emma, because I had to also let go of these ideas how a family has to look like. There were so many traditional pictures also in my mind, and and there was this constant conflict because it didn't fit. Nothing fitted in some way, and I didn't know like what are my rights, and I didn't want to. I never wanted to be one of these stepmoms who kind of act like the kids were theirs, but still you're there with them. I mean, like, you bring them to bed in these weeks, you cook for them, you dry their tears when they're there, or or you clean their puke when they're having an upset stomach. You're there, right, in this moment. And sometimes it was such a struggle for me then to it was really a big mess. I think we could feel a whole other podcast about how like stepmomming, and I know I'm still I'm very blessed stepmom, and still then it's complicated because people expect things from you, and everybody has an opinion. People have also opinion about moms, by the way. I think people just
and I was just gonna say also, maybe also including the parents who are divorced or separated. That's another system that I think many are who are in the situation are suffering from, because it's not the traditional situation. And so there are many forms of parenting.
100%.
But what's very important right now, I think, is that these family structures within the context of the pandemic that we are in are really tested.
Oh yes.
Yes. And we're invited to clear what's not working. And I don't know, I mean, you hear so many different stories what's going on in these homes, but something I want to share is what I read today for all the parents at home who think that they're working from home while homeschooling. Just remember that you are homeschooling and are trying to work next to it. And don't, I really dropped the expectation of my days, what to achieve in one day, because I really realized now, I think now it's really a chance to give all my time to the children, because we have the role of the teacher right now.
Yeah, of everything.
So,
The role of everything.
everything.
Anybody else that somebody had in their lives, everything you're now.
Yeah. And actually, I had some beautiful new, I don't know, like kind of new things blossoming with my children, because I just took more time for them, and kind of let my own stuff wait for a while, and be more be more like their teacher right now. I mean, the school teacher.
How does that feel for you and for them?
I think when I realized that when I really take their time serious, and when I sit down next to them and really focus on what they have to do, they feel so seen. They feel so valued. And like kind of talking about the projects they need to do, and maybe help them with their projects in a very creative way, just strengthens the relationships so much. And normally they go to school, we don't really have an idea what they are doing. They come home, then they have their hobbies, and there's not much time left. And often when they come home, they are tired, they need some me time. And now we see them in
You're
all
part of the process. It's beautiful. I really think it's a big chance for, like, I was even thinking, maybe kids are looking back then, like when they're older, they're looking back and like, oh, I love this time. My parents had finally time for me. Of course, for the people who have a good family. And also another thing. But it was the time when I actually was with my parents.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, there are some challenging moments, like for instance, last week when I was teaching yoga through Zoom, I think my younger one, she forgot that I'm teaching, and she was singing and dancing and drumming upstairs, like so loud. And I mean, I couldn't leave and tell her. That. It was so hard to focus, and at one point I started to talk really loudly, I think, just to overtune her noise. And that's
funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's the stuff that happens. Yeah, we have that too in a podcast, when you all of a sudden heard a boy singing upstairs and burping. And I don't know, like parents who have boys as like their kids. I'm so curious. Do your boys also make all kind of strange noises constantly, all day long? I really am I don't know. Like, it's like, just with himself, he think it's cool to make all kind of strange and funny and annoying noises. I'm very curious to hear back from you.
I cannot give you feedback because I just have girls.
Yeah, it's in any ways interesting. And I had, I remember in our last talk also, when you made this beautiful meditation, when I heard this burping going in all kind of tones, like, welcome to my life, guys.
Yeah.
Luckily we're using headphones here, so motherhood, I think, like just parenthood is like a real thing right now. And I think it's not for everybody, because I know also many of our clients are like, no space, I feel like, but you're not struggling with that, this feeling of, oh my goodness, I don't have any space?
No, I don't know. I ask myself why. I mean, I love it that we are so together, and I'm not so much triggered by not having enough room for myself when I had the time, like in the morning, for myself. That's why I try to do it in the morning, and then I can be here for other people. And the same goes a little with what you mentioned in the beginning, with like media and negative stuff that you're reading online. I really try to do my inner work first thing, and move my body and meditate and journal, and to really get into my zone. And then somehow it repels, and it doesn't really. I'm not
thinking.
so, yeah. And if I would read that first thing in the morning when I wake up, when I feel like everything is upside down and all my parts are somewhere shattered, and I first have to bring everything together, then I'm kind of like an open, like a
Open book.
yeah, or like I suck in everything, and it
Yeah,
would
I know what you mean. You're just
affect
like,
my energy extremely.
yeah, everything just gets in. You have no boundary
Yeah,
to protect yourself.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
I understand that.
and also maybe because we have the forest so nearby,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
we
yes.
go to the forest every day, and we also take our kids to the forest every morning, so they have a fresh head and have some fresh energy before they start their days. And then we try to all work in different rooms.
Top.
Mm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily we also, now the kids are now upstairs most in their rooms when they're doing their stuff, and just when they need help, mostly the girl, because she's in what we call here the middelbare school, in the high school. And so she needs more support. The boy doesn't actually have real homework. He just has to do his stuff, and then he's done. And she really has also like bigger work that she has to do, like
that's
writing pieces or making
yeah.
posters or something like that.
Yeah, we have that too now. This week it started again, and they have a whole weekly schedule what they have to do.
Yeah.
But I think they really liked it. It started yesterday, and I think they were happy to have now tasks
structure again.
Structure to follow a plan, and to at the end of the day to say, okay, I've done everything.
Yeah. Our holidays now start here. Like, I think the girls' holiday starts tomorrow, but she's at her mom's right now, and then she has like half the week and then another week, and then the boys' weeks, they have 1 week together, and then the boy another one. They don't even have it together. It's a bit strange here, but it's because he's in the lower school and she's in the middelbare, so it's just like this difference. I'm curious. It's interesting, and I think this whole topic is so big, and we could talk and go on about it forever, because I think there are so many corners and levels.
Yeah, I think it's
right.
Yeah, especially how much when we think about our life purpose, how many of the mothers really include the motherhood in their life purpose. Because I sometimes, when people ask me, so what is your profession, or what is your mission, or then I count everything, but then I realize, and I'm a mother, and because somehow this is just a natural, like I'm a wife, but that this is really part of your purpose, and how much that they are teachers also for us on our journey. I think we easily forget about that. And right now, I just want to invite everyone who feels so stressed about the situation, that just take this role right now as a goal or a purpose, to do that
fully,
really well and fully.
And that is enough, right? That
is enough. Yeah.
Because I think so many get caught up then, but I don't get to do my purpose things, or I cannot be on purpose. But this is being on purpose. This is the work. And I think that's a very, very important to see that. And I think also the ones who are not moms now watching this, or maybe you're a stepmom, or you're not a mom at all, but you always have things in your life that you take for granted, where you're blind to. Maybe it's just the inner work that you're doing. Maybe it's that the partner that you're being for your husband, or for your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or for any friend, a person, your godchild, anybody. These things do count too, and are part of your life's mission. It's not about always about what and mostly it's actually not about what you're doing. It's about being.
Exactly.
It's about their being, and not we're a human being, not a human doing. So we always think, oh, it's so good to do the things, but in the end, it's all about the presence. And
and especially we sometimes forget so easily that not doing anything and just reflecting can sometimes be even more valuable than just
100%
do and be busy being busy.
Yeah, but busy is it's so socially accepted, right? Being busy is super socially accepted, while being is like, oh my goodness, she's lazy. But I actually even think that being present, it has so much to do with the new leadership paradigm that we're entering, and just being present in who we are.
Yeah.
And embodying ourselves fully. I really believe that this is the new paradigm of leadership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so I think that's it, right?
One closing word of wisdom for today?
A closing word of wisdom. Presence.
Yeah. Presence.
And you?
I was just 1 second before you said present. I said breathe in, breathe out, which comes back to presence,
which is the same.
Yeah, exactly.
We're so connected.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening, and please share your comments, feedbacks, questions, or if you have topics that you would like us to discuss in a future episode, just please
bring it on.
Yes, and we're very, very happy to answer them.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So thank you very much for listening, and till the next time. Now I can try out some new hair.
Ja, stimmt.
Also heute wird es wirklich nicht mehr besser.
Wir können ja noch als Bloopers ein paar Hairstyles.
It looks like so eine Gagel auf dem Kopf.
Ein Gagel.
Wir können einen Hair-Podcast machen.
Genau, wir tun unsere Hair-Products sharen.
Ja, niemand wird die Produkte kaufen wie mich. Oh my god, bad hair day.
Today we're gonna have a hair tutorial.
A hair tutorial? Look at us, a luscious hair. So silky and
yes. Oh my god, when I run through, it's amazing.
Like every woman deserves that.
Okay.